And we are live. Hello, morphemes, phonemes, and graphemes. And welcome back to another very lonesome office hours as Kate, unfortunately, is still feeling too under the weather to join us. Wish her the speediest recovery. But aside from that, let's get to something actually interesting, and that's the Wordle. Hmm. Not the worst starting word I've had. Pleat. Definitely not one of the best second words I've had. Brunt. Okay, now we're getting somewhere. Okay, so is it something like are you... Schwab would hate today's Wordle? Oh, yeah, honest, I don't watch enough of Agma's content to understand that reference, I think. No, definitely not that. That would be a terrible one to do. Fort? You sort? Hmm. Thirst. Is it... I'm sorry. Thirst is an English word? Huh. That's archaic dialectal word. Hello, Nex. Sort? No. Okay. So there's... The only vowel is left available is O. Osrut? No. Sorat I've already tried. Um, why did my music stop? Yes, thank you for recommending me my own stream, YouTube. Definitely didn't know that I was live. Um, it's gonna be something like that? Osret? It's not a word. Osret? Was it gonna be something like that? Be something like... Isn't it always helpful? I am so confused. Okay, I feel like it's gonna be something like that. Strut. That took an embarrassingly too many attempts. Okay. uh, Sub, ribbon, hood, ship, shell, cover, menu, tube, enter, bowtie, fill in, windows, dom, alt, temp, 8. Okay, let's see. So, ribbon and bowtie are both accessories, but they're also pastas. To enter, fill in. To temp is like to tempt fate, but a tube. Nice little smiley. I feel like shell, cover, and hood could be connected, but then there's also ribbon, bow tie, and hood. Oh, to cover, fill in for, to temp for, alt for? Sub. There's one. Okay, and then the all I'm thinking of with Windows are the operating software and, well, these things. Enter Windows Alt menu. Keybinds on, yeah, PC keyboard keys. Okay. Ooh. Bow tie, shell, hood, ribbon. Parts of a jacket? I mean, bow ties aren't really part of a jacket, though. Shell pasta, bow tie pasta, ribbon pasta, tube pasta? Oh, look, a perfect rainbow. Suffixes 8, dumb, hood, ship. Got it. I know, I am also shocked at that discovery. Okay, so obviously a 6 has got to go there. It can't be that one. It has to be one of those two. 6 has to go here, and it has to equal something, and there's a 6 there. That is an equals. There's only one 0. So maybe it goes like, no, there's only 1, 3 as well. So 0 cannot go in these two. I think this is going to be something like 6, 3. And then probably very wrong with this. 0, 6. Nope. Yeah, no, very wrong with that. That's going to be a 6, 2, 1, 1, 6, 5, 2, 2. And that goes like that. Okay. 1 done. That has to be greater than 4, and then that equals 6, 6, 6, 6, and then less than 3. So this has to be that. Yeah, that has to be 6, 3, because if I did 5, 1, there's no other 5s to complete that. So that's 6, 3, which means that this is 6, 6, and I think that fits there. And then do that to get another 6. Yeah, there we go. I am crushing it. Oh god, this one looks terrifying. But last week's was also terrifying, and we did that. Barely. Okay. So this has to be a combination. So it has to be 0, 0, or 5, 5. Or can't be 2, 2, and can't be 6, 6 here. So this has to be either the 0, 0 or the 5, 5. I'll do the mini. I've already done the crossword today. Without cheating. I did do it with my mother, though. Very nice, relaxing routine. Oh, it could also be 3, 3. What if it's like this? And then the other 3 goes here. There's no double 4s. So that's can't be how that goes. There's only 2 4s. Okay. That immediately cuts off the 3 option. But we could do this instead. I think this will fill in nicely. And then I have to choose A3 here, but I don't know which one yet. I think the 6 is going to be here. That's the only one with 3 options. And then I think the 2s will fill in that. Means that will probably be the 5s. So throw those in there, and we have done it. Okay, and then the mini. I already did the mini today. Did I? Wait, I did the mini today? When? Oh, did it switch over last night? It must have switched over last night without realizing it. Okay, well, no mini today. Jeepway? Nope. Let's go to Wolof on Africa. Nope. Oh, it's in North America. I'm a moron. So it's southeast. Is it Sioux? Nope. Still further. I know that's more north, but yeah, so it's gonna be. Is it not Alvin? Al. Oh God, what? Why can I? This is Algonquin languages. Why am I forgetting the name of this language? Abenaki. Mohawk. Mohawk. I did it, guys. Woo. What? Nope. Mensk. Oh, it's probably Swedish. Yeah, there we go. Sabore Manusha French. I doubt it's gonna be. No, it's definitely not Romanian. Romansh? Romani? Damn, look at me go. Hmm. Let's do a jug. Start off with? Okay, definitely not that. Um. Oh god, what's the name? What's the name of the language in Uruguay again? Garmani? It's. Wait, didn't. Isn't there a. Another. Oh, I'm thinking of Paraguay. Guarani. Yeah, okay, I'm thinking of Paraguay. Guarani. Is it in South America? No, it's not. Doing the langle, trying to guess whatever this language is at the moment. And then I'll move on to something else. Also, as I think you're a new viewer, this is Office Hours. You can ask me questions about linguistics or any other topic you're interested in. I'm trying to answer the best I can and do some research on it. But if nobody has questions, I just do random bullshit until the end. Okay, so it's not. Is it rap? Okay, let me see. Is it on the opposite side of the world? Let me do Hawaiian to see if that gets us closer. Okay. Tahitian? Nope, farther from Tahiti. Okay, so Tahitian languages are spoken on. Very helpful. Okay. Austronesian languages. It's this part. Where is Tahiti again? Tahiti is. Okay, so it's about also very distant from this area. So Guinean? Probably not Guinea-Bissau Criollo. Wait, Guinea-Bissau is elsewhere. Damn it. Okay, last guess. Malaysian. I know it's not Malay, but damn it. Marshallese. That's the one that had the emojis, if I remember correctly. Yeah, here we go. Who was it that did the emojis again? If that doesn't show, it doesn't mention the paper that had the emojis. God damn. Okay. Okay. Now what? Last week we decided that we were gonna start doing the weekly translation with Kuthegi and then work on Kuthegi. But my co-host Kate is indisposed. Mm. Well, I'm hoping have heard of Hawaii before. Hawaiian. But yeah, Ojugbe is a language in Africa, in the like little corner part of Africa. Which, oh wow, they do not have much here on it. Guarani is one of the native languages of south of Paraguay. It is, I don't think it's endangered, but I think it did have a lot of. Okay, it's doing okay. It's not doing great, but wait, that's not the language. That's the people. Okay, it's doing amazing. Yeah, 6.5 million people. I was probably thinking of a different language. Good God, that is a native language doing really well. Hawaiian is obviously the native language of Hawaii. Tahitian, native language of Tahiti. Closely related to Hawaiian, actually. So if we look at the Hawaiian language, Eastern Polynesian. Now there's Hawaiian, there's Tahitian. Oh, they're part of the same Eastern. It's part of the same group. Let's see if I can get some examples of the two side by side. A feature of these languages, Eastern Austronesian, is that they have very simple sound inventories. Okay, that's not working. Isn't it? Oh yeah, here we go. So it has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8-ish consonants, which is not a whole lot. It has quite a few vowels, but pretty standard set. Then if we go look at Tahitian language, it has a very similar vowel set, consonant set, without much stuff. There's actually a language. Oh, what's the name of the language? It's part of the Polynesian family. It's Rotokas. Rotokas language, which I think it's Rotokas. Yeah, here we go. Which are p, t, k, b, d, g in one of the varieties. It has these can change form, but That's really it. And then the vowels. It's very simple vowel set. And then this is a Creole spoken in Guinea-Bissau, which is a Portuguese Creole, actually. And then Malay is the language of Malaysia. That is a valid question. I'll answer that in a sec. Oh my god, the English approximation for is the O in opera. Ain't no. I mean, it makes sense. Opera. But, yeah, no. Oh god, it is hard to say what my favorite language is. My. Oh, it is. Opera. And then as in father. Opera. Father. I pronounce them the same. The. So I don't really have a favorite, but I do have languages that I'm partial to. So I'm quite partial to Japanese and Korean, as well as those are like the languages that really got me into linguistics in the first place. I'm still studying Japanese, and I've started learning Korean recently. Uh, I'm also quite partial to German, as I've learned that for a few years, and Arabic. I love the Arabic writing system and the way it sounds. I also love the Mongolian writing system, but I actually don't have much experience with Mongolian language, unfortunately, which I hope to change in the future, but okay, so there's that. Close that. Let's see. Good to do Korean. Oh, I've got to get example sentences for Nde. I need to do that. Favorite Arabic dialect. That one I can say. Darija. I love Meghrebi dialects so much. Partly because that is, I think, that's the dialect I was most exposed to because I went to Morocco for a week and my sister learned Darija. And I just love the sound of it. And then when I learned Arabic for like a year, I learned the Tunisian dialect. I was learning Tunisian pronunciation of MSA. So that's why if you hear me say Arabic words and there's an I will usually say katabe instead of kataba or kataba. Katabe. Oh, Arabic is so great. And I will say, I also have a ranking of fonts. Let me pull up pages to show this. Like, they're. Okay, let me get that nice and large. And then, what text should I do as a good example? Oh! You speak Arabic? Um, I'm sorry if I'm about to butcher this. Ana. Ana. Ektubu. Ana ektubu. Ana ektubul kitab fi fi. I think that looks better. Mektebi. There we go. Oh, that font. Yeah, you know exactly what that font. Yeah, that's a. Okay, let's go. Adobe Arabic. Oh god, that's so small. It's usually my go-to for Arabic fonts because it has the most compatibility. Actually, is surprisingly. Do I have it installed? I don't have it installed. Damn it. Adobe usually does pretty good Arabic fonts. Amiri is a favorite of mine. Let's see, where are the other ones? I'm not a big fan of Kufi types, sadly enough. Farisi. No, not Farisi. I want. Oh, there's one I'll talk about in a sec. Where is the. Where are you? Noto. Wait, where's. No, there's no sleek Urdu. Okay, and then there's one coming up from the bottom, I do believe that I. Do I not have it installed? I don't seem to have it installed. Okay. Not going to do the Kufi as I'm just not a fan of the Kufi look for some reason, sadly enough. Though it is interesting. But yeah, these two are usually my go-to after Calibri, as Calibri is just usually has very great multilingual support in general. And it does a thing where if you insert the vowel markers, it breaks up the ligature. As you can see, is not happening here. Amiri is something I use if I want to look fancy. And if I want to look really fancy, I use Nastalik. I hate the Giza Pro though. I know it's like the default font used everywhere, but for some reason, I just hate the way it looks. It's similar to how I absolutely abhor Times New Roman. Like, Times New Roman is. Oh, come on. It's one of my least favorite fonts in the world. Partly because it doesn't do ligatures. It doesn't do ligature. It has ligatures encoded into it. But for some reason, every version of Times New Roman that ships, ligatures are broken. And it's not just that, it's just an. I honestly think I've developed a hatred for it because of the amount of times we were forced to use it. So instead of that, I usually default to Libertinus Libertinus Serif, which just looks much better. Or, if I'm feeling fancy as I do in most of my YouTube videos, I do Allegria. I also do Adobe Castellan Pro at times, which I also really enjoy, but it does not have great multilingual support, unfortunately. Isn't that the basis? I have no idea. I don't know Black Sabbath very well. I know some of their songs, but nothing about the band. Why are you Acting up. Okay. Okele dokele. Oh. I haven't done the Japanese in a while. So usually people kind of drop off once I start doing the Japanese notes. Yeah, see, somewhat my viewership went from 3 to 2 as soon as I opened up the Japanese stuff. Perfect example. The particle mo is another common particle, though unlike the topic particle, which showcases contrast, this particle showcases similarity. Often translated as to or also, this particle is placed after the thing that has a similarity and also replaces da and o, but goes after other particles. Why are you acting up? Okay. I'll stick around. I took the N1 last December. Ooh! Ooh! That's how'd it go? Do you get your results back yet, or are you still waiting? Switch to. 私も先生にレポートを書く。私は先生にレポートも書く。私は先生にもレポートを書く。Now, for order to use more with nouns modified by the copula, adjectives or the verb special constructions must be made. For the copula, it is uncontracted into its full form, and mo is placed after de. This applies to both nouns and nominal adjectives. 私は教師だ。学生でもある。妹は暇だ。病気でもある。I am, Japanese is not good. I'm in a third level class at the moment, and I feel so out of my depth. Like, so out of my depth. Oh, you were saying that to cornbread. With true adjectives, the adjective is inflected into its adverbial form before mo is appended afterwards, and the verb aru is used as the predicate. 映画は面白い。楽しくもある. Finally, for verbs, the verb is inflected into its conjunctive form before mo is appended. Unlike the nouns and adjectives, the predicate uses suru instead of aru. サンドイッチを食べる。水を飲みもある. I mean, it's not really a good example sentence because I think a native speaker would just say mizu mo nomimasu. Actually, it's something I know I could do because I still need to do it today. Yasashi Asahi is my daily reading of a Japanese newspaper article. Okay. Jesus Christ, a snowstorm in Northeast Japan is really still going at it, isn't it? Korean is hard. Korean is fun, but it can be hard. What buzzed? Something buzzed. Okay. You guys will be able to see my terrible method for slowly reading stuff. 北日本では1月26日も雪が降り続けます. What that is saying is, in northern Japan, it's still snowing on the January 26th. Yeah, oh, that was published at 3 in the morning. Good God. Okay. 1月21日水曜日から続いた今季最長。今季最長。Let me save this article here so I can. So this season's oldest or longest snow. Fuyu. No. Fuyu. Kamba. Cold wave. Okay. 1月21日から続いた今季最長の看板による不雪降雪による降雪のピークは過ぎる見通し。Unobstructed forecast. Ooh. 降雪。And then 見通しです。Do I have that word? I feel like I do not have sugiru. Could have sworn I had sugiru. Imagine Japanese Wordle to learn new words. Ooh. 言葉遊ぼう。It's okay. It's 4 letters long, but you have a lot of options. No. Nomimasu. Not in the word list. Nomimono. Okay, that was a terrible first choice. No. Onna no ka? Onna no ko? No, that's not gonna fit. That's 5 letters long. Onna. Nope. Also doesn't fit. Oh god. Robato. Roboto? Romaji. Romaji is not in the word list. That was a terrible choice. Saicho. There's no doubt if any word is on this word list. Suzukeru. Okay. Does that mean it's on this line? I'm assuming that's what that means. 例えば. Okay. So there's a yeah, this is. I am so confused at the moment. There's got to be rules somewhere. Actually, that's a fair point. Okay. In addition to tweet, threads, and line, you can now how to play. Guess the word of the day in 12 tries. Each guess must be a valid four-corner word. Hit the enter button to submit. Hint mode. Okay, that's hint mode. So the kanata is close but incorrect. It is in the correct spot, but the correct answer is actually voiced kanada. The kanatsu. Okay. Indicates that can be a basic kana, a voice kana, a semi-voice kana, or a small kana. Okay. So there in there's one of these in this column, and the ta is going to be one of these two. Because despite being one mora, it's written with two characters. So the way this works in Japanese is so you have the sounds ta. One second, let me just. So this is what's called the ta t column, and this is with the vowels a, e, u, e, o. These are the basic vowels in Japanese, and when to write syllables starting with ta and ending with these, you write these sounds. But the T is actually pronounced as chi, and tu is pronounced as tsu due to sound rules. And then there's also a bunch of sounds that are cha, ti, cho, cha, chu, cho. And these arrive from old clusters that look like this. Tia, tu, tio. And they used to be written like this. So it'd be a chi followed by a ya. But in order to differentiate that from chia, this is a terrible explanation. Okay, let me do this a bit better. So in Japanese, you have basically 8 vowels. A, I, U, E, O, Ya, U, Yo. So I know these aren't vowels, but they're consonant vowel pairs, but they kind of function like vowels. And in order to write them, you take they are written on their own, but if they follow a consonant, you take the E consonant and add ya, a small version of ya, yu, yo after them. So for sha, shu, sho, you take shi, and then you have a small ya afterwards, which is different from shi ya, if that makes sense. I hope that was clear. If not, I can try explaining it in a better way. Okay, so it's not in the R column, it's not in the M column or the P column, not in the H or B column, not in the N column. So I should try. That, that, I don't know enough words to do that. I'm sorry. I do not know enough words to do that. To pass through, to have expired, to have exceeded, to be passed. Ni yoru. Ni yoru. I know ni yoru to, as in like according to, by means of. Okay. I might already. Nope, I just have ni yoru to. Okay, so. Kousetsu. Kousetsu. はい。いや、降雪のピークは過ぎる。Okay, so to pass through, to go by is over. Okay. So I have heard of Yomitang. I use Safari. That is very fair. Yeah, I don't think Yomitan it has Safari support. But I also, for some reason, those apps have always annoyed me. I mean, they're very helpful. They're very useful for people who can use them. My brain just does not like them for some reason, and I do not understand why. But Anki has carried me so much. Okay, so 1月20日水曜日から続いた今季最長の寒波による降雪のピークは過ぎると見通しです。So it's predicted that the peak of the storm, what is Nioru again? By means of the cold front. So basically what it's saying is the continuing storm has reached its peak and is yeah, and then tada, but I do believe tada. For some reason the little these little marker words, despite being so common, I have so much trouble remembering. Okay, let's see. ただ、気象庁は北日本では1月26日にかけて降雪が続くとしています。続くとにかけて I literally just read that one as well. It's till will probably continue until the 26th. I'm assuming is what that says. Tosuru. So the astrological agency says toshiteru. I already have a few meanings of tosuru. Like trying to. Like, but it's after yo. To decide to. I'm pretty sure this is not saying that the astrological agency has decided to continue the storm. That is fair. But I can't think of. Well, the grammar. I don't want it after the volitional form. I want it after the dictionary form. Okay, I'm gonna have to pull up the big guns. Oh. Da, 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 da. To suru. Okay, so it's definitely not to suru, so it's assume. I-518. A great resource to have are the dictionaries of Japanese grammar. So useful. Here we go. Oh, that's a long section. We assume that the temperature is constant. Okay. So it's saying that they are assuming the storm will go on. これまでの大雪で積雪 snow cover. Ooh, that's a pretty word. 積雪が多くなっているところではなだれにも注意がしんだ必要が必要だと言います。という says, okay. So until this, until this? So far, okay. So far, up to now, snow cover in the middle of the giant snowstorm, middle of the heavy snow cover has just about accumulated enough that preparations for a snow avalanche are necessary. Thank you. God damn, that is northern Japan and East Asia in general. Is it also hitting Korea? Yeah, it's also hitting Korea. Yeah. That is... Now we're also being hit by a 2025. 2026. God, actually, I know some people who are unable to fly back to Japan and Korea because of the snowstorm, and people who are unable to leave Japan and Korea because of the snowstorm. God, that is insanity. 1月26日午前6時までによ、よし、よす、よそ、よそ、よされる1日にブルヨッキの amount, I think, quantity, 量は多いところで、東北です。お雪の警察影響。大雪の影響で列車やバスが遅れたり止まったりしました。Oh, that's bad. I've seen a lot of. Ooh. That is. Let me. Ooh, yeah. Yeah, I have also seen a lot of those. God damn, they're just not having a good time of it right now, are they? That is not pleasant. Nope. Okay, well, let me look at this to see if. So, pitch accent, make sure it's all formatted correctly. Japanese, like many languages in East Asia, is a tonal language. Japanese specifically has two tones, a high tone and a low tone, that appear in very specific patterns called pitch accents. There are a total of 4 pitch accents split into accented and unaccented, depending on when the pitch drops in the word. For accented words, if the first syllable has a high tone, then every syllable afterwards has a low tone. If the first syllable has a low tone, then the syllables following will be high until the accented syllable, in which case every syllable afterwards will be low, yada yada yada. The accented syllable could be the second syllable, third, or even final. For unaccented words, every syllable but the first has a high tone. The categorization of the accent patterns can be seen below. So accented is kifukushiki. Kifukushiki. It has a tamadaka or head high. That's why the font isn't taking. Hashi. Nakadaka hashiru. Odaka hashi. Or unaccented. Hashi. God, the number of times. It really is like the perfect example perfect example words though, but the number of times I've heard them are Heiban shiki. The difference between Odaka and Heiban is how the pitch accent interacts with the following particles. With Heiban words, the pitch stays high on most following particles, while Odaka words will generally have a pitch drop between the final syllable and a particle. So hashiga versus hashiga. If the down step occurs on a complex syllable, ending in either a long vowel or with an span class. Then the down step occurs with the syllable, within syllable, the first half being high and the second half being low. Unlike most words in Japanese, verbs and adjectives cannot take all 4 types of pitch accents. Instead, they may only be accented with the down step being right before the last syllable, or they may be accented. Example, katia, hareru, hareru versus hareru, or atsui versus atsui. Verbs. Japanese verbs can be split into 3 groups: u verbs or go-down verbs, ru verbs or ichidan verbs, and irregular verbs. Both go-down verbs and ichidan verbs have some verbs in them that are irregular, but for the most part, only one form of each of these verbs is irregular. On the other hand, every form of the irregular verbs are irregular and must be memorized. The distinction between the 3 verb types can be best exemplified through the 7 forms, the forms of the verb that all suffixes append to. Dictionary form: jishoke, the conjunctive form, renyoke, the euphonic form, onbenke, the irrealis form, misenke, the hypothetical form, keteke, keteke? I should really just do this. There we go. Kateke, kateke, the imperative form, re, re, mereke, mereke in the volitional form, ikoke, ikoke, ikoke. Godan verbs all end with the kana in the u column, u, tsu, ru, bu, mu, nu, ku, gu, and su. There's only one verb that ends in nu, that being shinu. The endings fu, yu, zu, and zu do not exist in modern Japanese. The final syllable in this class will frequently change its final vowel when conjugating between any of the 5 possible vowels in Japanese, hence the name godan or pentagrade. Some things to note for Godan verbs are that the hypothetical and the imperative forms are identical. The volitional form takes a long vowel instead, and the aro verbs in the irrealis become wa instead of a. Some euphonic forms are also accompanied by a dakutan, which indicates that the following kana is voiced. Ao, I, a, awa, I, ao. Matsu, machi, mata, mate, mate, mato. Kaeru, kaeru, kae, kaera, kaere, kaere, kaero. Manabu, manabi, man. Okay, yeah, that all looks fine to me. Ishiran verbs are verbs that end in the syllable ru. Should really just do that before. Okay, you know what? I'll just do Korean instead. That way you guys aren't watching me just catch up on stuff I did a few months ago and haven't done since. It's probably a better idea. Okay. The conjunctive form n, nde has many different meanings that can seem contradictory in English, such as and, but, so, then. So I'm studying Korean, but I'm not very good at it. It provides background information. Ugh. So what's a good example for the 행복? What is 행복 again? 행복. Ah. I am eating bibimbap. So I am happy. I do quite like bibimbap. I will say that. I can also read Korean. Up until mid-last century, Japanese made me learn to love kanji. Up until mid-last century? Wait, that would be the 50s, 60s, and... You'd be older than my grandfather. Ah. Yeah, I love kanji as well. Yeah, no, I have a whole video about the Korean dropping Hanza. My most popular video to date. And oh boy, are the comments on it fun. Okay. So that's. I should switch these around. The consonant ending going on top. Yeah, that's what I figured. I was like, oh my god. That would make you a non-tigent. That would make you over 100 years old. No, 70. If you were learning it by that point, you would be. Let's see, my grand. Yeah, you'd be 80 to 90 years old. That would be insane. That would be impressive. Considering that my grandfather's around that old and he is not doing too well physically. Love him to bits, but oh my god, he is struggling. Okay, I need an adjective that ends in a consonant. I could do mashi. Nope, not ita. This ending is irregular, so I can't do the ita ones. Natta? Naninda? Kotta. No, those are irregular endings as well. What about up here? Do I have any? Jota? Jota might work. Nolta? Nutta? Nutta could work. 아, 고마워요. 안녕히 가세요. Hmm. What at the very bottom here? I don't have any adjectives in that list. That is kind of disappointing. Do I have any? Nope. Those are just the ones I started with. Let's do Quentanda. God damn it. I want my Korean keyboard. Gwen Chan 은다. 근데 괜찮는데 괜찮는데 Do I have the word for to leave? No, I do not. What's the word for to leave? To depart. There we go. These ones are kind of dark meanings. Donada. Donada. Actually, that would be these ones up here, yeah. 떠났다, to leave. 자동사. Or it could be transitive or intransitive. 떠나다 is pronounced like 떠났다. 떠났다. What is 병원? 병원. 병원을 떠나요. I am fine. So I hospital. There we go. And I've lost everybody. I'm so lonely. Oh, so lonely. Finding a adjective that ends with a vowel will hopefully be much easier. I am praying. Yeah. 따다. Like 3 to show that the syllable itself is affected. Sante. The chi is chi. The chi. The T is cheap. 사요. Actually, send. What is send again? 붙이다. 이렇게 줍다. 드리다. 주다. 좋아요. 친구한테 좋아요. He is cheap. And I give it to my friend. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, then I need to figure out one with the nouns. I think it is additional and sequential. For descriptive verbs, they. Yeah, it's providing background information to stuff. Ah, okay. That is actually, these are some good example sentences. Kind of long, though. I don't want to just steal from this. What's order? 기자. 기자인데. 기자. 기자인데. I am a 젊은 질문 nope 질문 yeah 질문 oh 질문 not 질문. Oh wait, that is part of the right thing. Okay. 질문이 있어요. And I have a question. There we go. Sets up the background and then the main part of the sentence. Now to find one for a consonant. 휴대폰 비싸다. I knew I had you. Where? 비싸다. Oh, whoops, I put that among the nouns. That's an adjective. Be expensive. 휴대폰인다. 인데. 비싸요. It's a phone. It's a phone. It's expensive. Okay, there we go. So the nde ending to a gives background information to the following clause. It could be an addendum, like and, or it could be because of, or it could be but. It just gives general background information. Okay, let me copy and paste this down here. I think only one sentence each is needed. Grande. Gronde. It's gronde. Gronde. And this is another way of saying this. Mogoyo. Okay. That looks good to me. Those need to be capitalized. Those final so's need to be capitalized. There you go. So this is a conjugated form. This is an unconjugated form. Follows the aso and go forms above. Uro. And with that, I think my chapter 2 of Korean is basically done. I just need to write my chapter 3, which will have past tense modification, uro, plus movement, particle man, ordinal numbers, and date and time. Probably one other thing if I can think about it. Okay, let's see. So I don't think there's anything funny with the past tense now. Well, with ita. But to form the past tense of verbials in Korean, one simply nanta, donata, donasso. Adds one takes the infinitive root of the verbial and add to it. This suffix comes after the honorific form, but and before all other forms. Yeah. Yeah. Mhm. When placed into the light form, it takes the out. Oh. Oh, it always takes. Oh, and does not agree with, and does not abide by the ah oh rule. There we go. Probably gonna wrap up the stream fairly soon. Okay. So I ran to the store. I ran to the store. 저는 가게 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 돼 뒤 뛰어갔다. 요 I ran to the store. Wait. Span class highlight 3. Span class highlight. Wait. 되었겠어요? Because I'm a dum-dum, I forgot to set that as the second one. I need one that ends with a consonant. 8. A pizza. 피자. 피자를 먹, 먹었어요. 먹었어요. 저는 피자를 먹었어요. Okay, well, I started that. I think I'll continue that by myself later. I think this is where I will be ending for tonight. Oh god. What was sent in the... Oh, I got a new... Oh, Cornbread joined. But yeah, that, I think I will end things here. And until next time, I bid you all adieu.